been doing a lot of stuff for mobility. Um, and the other day I was watching something on YouTube, and for some reason YouTube suggested a clip on the horse stance, which is like the most basic martial arts stance, where your feet are like shoulder width apart or maybe wider, and you kind of crouch down until your knees are at 90 degrees. And it was talking about how the horse stance is a great way to build stability and mobility and flexibility and strength and all this kind of stuff. Mental focus. It's a good way to build upper body strength because you can do different things with your hands. And it's so interesting because, I was watching this. It was like a 12-minute video, and I was fascinated. I've taken multiple martial arts throughout my life, and like taekwondo and kung fu, and horse stance was a part of all of those. And it just kind of was like this beautiful thing, that I immediately decided, okay, I'm going to add this to my routine. So today was the first day that I did it, and I'm just going to keep doing it every day. I'm starting out at like 20 seconds holding it, and then I'll do that for like a week, and then every week I'll increase by like 20-second increments. So pretty soon I'll be up, pretty high. But I think, being able to hold it for 2 or 3 minutes is good. I think ultimately, I think being able to hold it for 5 minutes is really good. So I think that's what I'd like to get up to. But it's just such a basic, fundamental thing, and I think it's a beautiful kind of example of how you can use something that's so incredibly basic and fundamental as to almost be boring. But with the right perspective, it can kind of open up your whole world. Like, I was thinking about it after I saw that video, and like, if I met somebody who was just completely out of shape, hadn't exercised in forever, was overweight, like all this kind of stuff, I wouldn't even tell them to start walking. What I would tell them to do, if they wanted my advice and they were willing to listen to me, would be start with a horse stance and do whatever version of it you can. You don't have to go all the way down to 90 degrees, but whatever you can do. And do that for 10 seconds and do it every day. And then when 10 seconds becomes too easy, go up to 20 seconds, et cetera, et cetera. And do that every day until you can hold it for, at least 2 minutes. Ideally 5 minutes, right? And that's something that's so simple and basic that I think even the most out of shape person could do it. And it sounds so boring that most people wouldn't even do that. Like, people think, oh, I want to get in shape, I gotta like join a gym, I gotta do all these different things. But I think one reason why a lot of those types of initiatives fail is because people overwhelm themselves and they feel like they have to do too much. Like, you're better off doing too little, starting out with too little. But the key to it is consistency. It's not like anybody can do something for 10 seconds. But the hard part is doing that same exact thing for 10 seconds every day day in, day out, day after day. And that's where, because nothing really works without consistency. Consistency is the key to everything. And that's consistency is what allows for compounding. Right? If you do the same thing over and over again every day, and it's a healthy, productive thing, then it's going to compound. But only if you do it every day, only if you combine it with consistency. So, and I guarantee if, I could take that person who was completely out of shape and using something as basic as the horse stance for as little as 10, starting with as little as 10 seconds per day, within a month, their life would already be better. Within 3 months, their life would be much better. Within 6 months, their life would be, I think, completely turned around. If they did exactly what I said, if they did it every day. And that's just like such a beautiful fundamental thing. I don't know. I guess I'm just like thrilled with this discovery that I've made over the last several years of just how it's kind of like the key to, I don't know, success in life and just being able to get good at everything. It's consistency. It's not about going and working out hard for an hour or an hour and a half. Like if you do that one time, okay, what did you do? Like, okay, you tired yourself out, but it's useless all by itself. But if you worked out 20 minutes a day every day, within 6 days you've surpassed anything you achieved in one hard 1 hour to hour and a half workout, and you've built something more long lasting and fundamental. So it's just kind of that day-to-day repetition that really over time creates huge change, because the change isn't linear, it's exponential. It compounds on itself, which is the beautiful effect of it. So yeah, horse stance and consistency. And yeah, there's a wrestler named John Smith. He's a coach now for one of the top programs in the country, but he was probably the best wrestler to come out of the United States in the 80s and 90s. He was a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, and he won the world championships every year in between. And I read something recently by him where he said this a long time ago, that unless you can hold your wrestling stance, which is kind of like a horse stance, for like some amount of time, like 3 minutes or 5 minutes, you don't even belong on the mat. So the way that he got so good was he just broke it down to the most fundamental details, and he got better at those details than anybody else in the world. And I mean, that along with talent and all that other stuff made him an Olympic champion and one of the best wrestlers that the United States has ever produced.